Have you ever looked at a company that just seems to get everything right, almost like magic? Well, it's not magic. It's a relentless, obsessive pursuit of perfection. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the one number that defines world-class performance, and we'll see why that good enough grade we all aimed for in school is actually a total recipe for failure. All right, let's dive right in. You know, we're all taught to believe that scoring a 99.9% is amazing. It's an A+, right? It's practically perfect. But what if I told you that in the real world, when you're operating at a massive scale, a 99.9% success rate is actually a disaster waiting to happen? So on one side, you have what feels like a huge win. Good enough. On the other side, you have the standard that the most elite, most reliable organizations on the planet live and die by. And trust me, the gap between these two isn't just a small step, it's a massive chasm. Yeah, that sounds a little harsh, I know, but let's put it into perspective. To really get why this matters, we have to look at what happens when you accept that tiny 0.1% failure rate, especially when you're dealing with millions of products or customers or transactions every single day. This right here is the power of scale. A fraction of a percent, an error rate so small you can barely see it, becomes catastrophic when you apply it to the tens of thousands of flights that take off every day. Suddenly, almost perfect just doesn't cut it when actual lives are on the line. So, okay, if 99.9% is just an illusion of quality, what's the real deal? What's the actual target that these world-class organizations are chasing down with such focus? The answer is this number, just 3.4. This is it. This is the legendary benchmark for operational excellence. This is the number that separates the good from the truly undeniably great. 3.4 times what, you ask? 3.4 parts per million, or PPM. What that means is for every 1 million things you do, whether that's making a heart pacemaker, processing a customer order, or even managing your boss's payroll, only 3.4 of them are allowed to be defective. Just think about that. This is what we call a Six Sigma process. It's a whole methodology designed from the ground up to hunt down and eliminate defects. We're talking about a level of quality that is 99.99966% accurate. It's so close to perfect that statistically, it pretty much is. It's all about delivering flawless results every single time. Now, to really wrap our heads around how in the world you get to a number that precise, we need to understand the core concept that gives this whole thing its name, sigma. So, in the simplest terms, sigma is just a measure of variation. I like to think of it as the wobble in any process you do. A low sigma level, that means a lot of wobble, a lot of unpredictable variation. But a high sigma level, like 6 sigma, well, that means almost no wobble at all. It's a super consistent, predictable process. And this image just nails it, doesn't it? The process on the right with all that variation is totally unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get. But look at the one on the left. All the data points are packed tightly together. That's a stable, reliable process. The less variation, the more control you have. That's the whole game. So how do you go from that wobbly, messy process to one that's rock solid? Well, the journey to Six Sigma isn't a slow, steady walk. It's actually a series of massive, exponential leaps in quality. Okay, look at this. The key thing to see here is that the improvement isn't linear at all. A 3 Sigma process, which you might think is okay, still spits out over 66,000 defects per million. But by the time you climb all the way to 6 Sigma, you're down to just 3.4. You've basically wiped out all unexpected errors. And this chart just drives that point home visually. I mean, look at the bar for defects at 4 Sigma. It's massive. At 5 Sigma, it shrinks down to almost nothing. And at 6 Sigma, you can barely even see it. That is the incredible leap to near perfection we're talking about. But here's the most important part. This isn't just for statisticians in a lab or engineers on a factory floor. This is a way of thinking, a mindset that you can apply to literally everything you do. At its very heart, Six Sigma is all about this simple but incredibly powerful idea, getting it right the first time. It's not about being great at fixing mistakes after they happen. It's about designing a process so good that the mistakes never happen in the first place. And this mindset, it's totally universal. It doesn't matter if you're a developer trying to ship bug-free code, a doctor trying to ensure patient safety, or hey, even just trying to manage your own email inbox. The goal is always the same: Find and eliminate the variation that leads to mistakes. Think about it. How many times a day do you have to fix a small error? That's variation, costing you time. So here's the big takeaway. Every little bit of inconsistency in how you work is an open door for an error to sneak in. By finding and eliminating the root causes of that variation, you don't just improve quality. You save an incredible amount of time, you cut costs, and you make your customers, and probably your boss, a whole lot happier. And that brings us to the final, and I think most important question. I want you to take this with you. In your own work, on your projects, in your daily habits, where have you settled for good enough? Where is that 99.9% illusion creating hidden problems you haven't even seen yet? Because ultimately, achieving this kind of excellence isn't something you do once. It's a culture. It's a commitment to constantly improving, to always looking for a way to get a little bit closer to perfect. So go on, challenge that illusion of almost perfect. Because in today's world, you really can't afford to be just good enough.